welcome to June 1st, 2015 to the Historic Preservation Commission meeting. We'll do a call to order.
All right. Commissioner Bothroyd,
Here.
Commissioner Brown,
Here.
Commissioner Locke,
Here.
Commissioner Long,
Here.
Commissioner Mahoney,
Here.
and Commissioner Powell. Ex officio Wood is not with us tonight.
Okay.
You have a quorum.
Okay. I'm going to open up with any public comments.
We did not have anyone sign in for public comments tonight.
Okay. Has everyone had a chance to review the minutes and any questions?
Make a motion to accept them.
I'll second.
All right, you have a motion and a second to approve the minutes from May 4th, 2015. All in favor, please respond by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Hearing none, motion carried.
Okay. Well, I want to welcome Amy Locke to the Historic Preservation. Welcome.
That's right.
And I'd say the same thing for Doug if he was here.
Yeah.
The first thing on the agenda is the discussion and possible action regarding commission chair appointment.
The history on this, as most of you know, our former chair, Ed Wood, is now a city council member who was actually appointed to serve as ex officio on this board, but due to his ex officio status, he can no longer be chair. So we need to have a chair appointed so that we can officially run meetings moving forward. I know that Commissioner Bothroyd is the longest tenured person, longest tenured commissioner on the board at this time.
I would nominate Commissioner Bothroyd for that position.
I'll second it.
All right. You have a motion and a second to nominate Commissioner Bothroyd to chairman status. All in favor, please respond by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Hearing none. Congratulations.
Thank you. Okay, let's see here. We have an application number CA 2015-2011-2980. Do you want me to go ahead and discuss the background, Cody, or?
Yeah.
Okay. The background, the applicants Stanley and Bonnie Phillips are seeking approval for the replacement of four front windows for their storefront at 105 West Harrison Avenue. This replacement is brought on due to vandalism of the existing windows. The application says that the proposed new windows will be thermal pane, energy-efficient windows. The building is currently occupied by Get Vaped. Is the applicant here?
The applicant is here tonight.
Hi, how are you? Does staff have any?
Staff doesn't have any comments at this time. If you have any questions for the applicant, if they have any questions, will you just join in at the podium over there so that we can get you on the microphone?
It appears that the windows that you're wanting to put back in are those windows that are put down on at another venue are metal framed. Is that correct?
Yes, and the ones in our building is metal also.
Are they of a metal frame that can't be replaced, or are they of an old style? Do you know?
Well, they've been there a number of years, so I'd say an old style.
So they can't just replace the pane itself. They've got to replace the whole.
They want to frame it. It's four windows that are connected, and you really need a frame around each one to make them sturdy with earthquakes, I guess.
Did you investigate as far as wood framed windows?
No,
Okay.
I just was going to put back what was there.
Okay, so they're not going to be tinted or anything like that?
No.
Do we have anything on the windows at present? Do you have any, like, logos or anything like that on the window?
Probably at the bottom where it says open and.
So you'll replace everything that's on the window already?
I mean, my concern is that it's a metal framed, I mean, I understand that currently is a metal frame, and what was put at, what is this street, 105 West
Harrison,
Harrison
yes.
is, was probably done previous to any historic preservation guidelines, because this is a very modern storefront that is on West Harrison. We would not allow that door in our current guidelines, and so, or that current framing for that matter.
That's kind of what staff had to assume, was that this was all done before a historic preservation ordinance was on the books, or in the gap period where HP was created, then decided to not be created, and then going back. So it might have gotten in there during the gap, but we do believe that this was done while there was not a historic preservation guidelines ordinance.
Being on the street front level, I would recommend that they be wood frame windows, since that's what our guidelines say. And not the thick metal framed like is on West Harrison.
Now, the donut shop across the street from us, I think it's King's Donut Shop, they're gonna have the same type of windows that we're asking for, except they're not the shape, you know what I'm saying? They put those in, those middle windows. Are they in the historic area?
They're in the district, but their building actually does not fall into the same
Oh, I thought they
guidelines,
were-
because it's it's a different era of building.
Oh, okay.
So right now, there is wood in there?
No,
No,
right there,
that-
these are metal.
They're metal.
So-
These are metal.
Oh, I see.
But these look like the similar style that was actually in my building that broke out also, but went back with, because
The wood.
wood framed.
Now, the inside is framed in wood to hold it in. It's rustic wood on the inside of the building.
In between each window, there is.
Well, have you thought about framing the outside with wood to make it look aesthetic, like it should be with the rest of the building?
Not really, I was just trying to put it back like it was, you know, and then these other, well, the building you see there, you know, it had the same window.
Do you know the dimensions of your windows?
No.
Because you can get the energy efficient windows in a wood frame instead of a metal frame. You can still obtain those. I don't know that Maker's Glass can do them. They couldn't do mine, but you can get the wooden thermal pane energy efficient window. I just don't know the dimensions of your glass.
Yeah. Well, we have already ordered them, really. We didn't know what we needed to come before, you know, with vandalism and everything, we was trying to get it done. So I've already ordered them, and then I thought, well, I'll call and see. I said, yeah, you need to come. I said, okay. So that's when I took pictures of windows around us, you know, that's just like what we want. It's just like what we have in there. So,
Did Makers not tell you that that should be before the historic? Well, I'm not in favor of the metal frame. I don't know where you are in your order, but I wouldn't, I'm not in favor of going to the metal frame.
Are there any other comments or questions?
Well, we've talked several times about trying to get, as buildings need to be redone, get them to the historic specifications as opposed to what was put in the 50s.
Okay, well, what I'd like to do is propose that we go ahead and try, well, what we need to do is go back with the wood frame windows as suggested, and maybe just going back with your window person to see what the cost is going to be. It shouldn't be, I wouldn't think that much more, is it? Or
Well,
would
I
it
don't
be?
know if Makers can do
Well,
it,
I
and I don't know where Makers is on their ordering. But for a local business, I would think that they would have been aware of the,
But not knowing,
guidelines.
but not knowing what kind of wood was on here before, that's kind of where we're at. We don't know what type of wood frame
Well, it just has to
be
be
on
of
here.
wood,
Okay.
not of metal framing.
So I think we can do the windows, but we would have to go back with the wooden.
Do you know how long ago you ordered them?
They're here.
Oh,
It was an afterthought on my part. You know, I just thought, well, we had vandalism, so I went and ordered windows. We got a hole, you know,
yeah.
letting in air, water.
So you have a hole in every window?
No,
Well, I propose that we go back with the windows, with modifying it with a frame when we replace those, because I know you want to put the windows back in. I mean, obviously you have them and they're ready to install, but we need to go ahead and put them back with the wood around it.
The metal windows that you see on West
Harrison?
West Harrison is, this isn't even West Harrison, this is North Second Street.
Right.
Right.
These windows aren't according to historic guidelines. So if these windows, once these are replaced, they would have to be replaced according to the historic guidelines. And so they would have to go back with, being street level, they have to be the wood-framed windows.
well, I needed a pamphlet to show you all what type of windows, and I didn't have one, so I asked him, where have you installed windows? So I can take a picture to show you all. So that's the reason, I didn't know. They need to be wooden.
And I mean, just for education for everyone here, this has been something that we've dealt with in recent months as well, was that someone wanted to come in with a non-wood frame window on the second floor. And so we looked back over the ordinance that this commission has to go by, and on non-street level floors, metal framing is okay, but on the street level, this commission is entitled to suggest wood framing.
Well, all I can do is go back and ask him if I can get wood. And if I can, do I need to come back, or can I just go ahead and install them with wood?
It depends on how the motion would be made tonight.
Oh, sorry.
I mean, I would be fine with the motion, with the modification of a wood-framed window.
So I have a motion to approve with modification to allow for wood frame windows. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Motion to approve with modification to include wood frame windows. All in favor, please respond by saying aye.
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 All opposed? Hearing none. Motion carried.
Okay.
Thank you.
Number 2 on the agenda, discussion and possible action regarding application number CA 215-20113-000 regarding a request to place signage on the front window and door at 210 West Oklahoma Avenue. Does staff have any comments?
Looking at this, sorry, no comments at this time.
Looks great to me. I don't see how it's in violation of any signage. It's well within the boundaries of size.
The only thing I would just want to point out on the, and it may not be a big deal, on the background piece of it, just FYI, there's under Jason's last name, that last name is misspelled. I don't know if you need that for the record or not, but it's spelled Roselius. And then it talked about on the door, approximately 2 by 3. The door's not that big, the glass is
was wondering
smaller,
about
so it's
that
gonna be-
size.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
actually, if you take a look at the first picture on Exhibit 1, you can see on this, between this first and second pane above the door, there's a little awning over here, and that's what we were going to have, a wood carved sign about 2.5. We're not sure how far, it's going to be 3 feet or 2 feet, depending on the size of it, and then hang down off of that. So that's what we're talking about for the sign piece of that size.
Okay.
If that-
Okay.
Off of that awning,
Off that,
or not the awning, but
The bracket.
the bracket coming off the
Yeah.
door, yes, ma'am.
and that would be fine.
So what we're looking at is the wording on one window, wording on another, the door, and hanging signage.
And the hanging sign, yes, ma'am.
Does anyone have any questions?
And the hanging sign is just your logo again?
Yes, ma'am, it'll be.
Just
it'll
CMR?
look exactly what you see on the
Okay.
door, yes, ma'am. It'll be on both sides. Eventually, we weren't going to do it today because we were pressed for time, but eventually, we're going to come back to you guys and have proposals for like some holiday themed stuff that we can zip line up there and put over the top of that as well. So that's our goal and our plan.
Sounds like fun.
We know how the city of Guthrie celebrates, so we want to be as festive as everybody.
And I'm going to ask you, the signage that's hanging is the same things on the door, same color, same everything?
Yes, ma'am,
Okay.
absolutely, yes, ma'am.
I like it.
I think everything looks great.
I'm sorry, just for the record, can I get your name?
Mike Mankin.
I'd make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
All right, motion to approve. All in favor, please respond by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Hearing none, motion carried.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next on the agenda is discussion regarding code of ethics.
That's right. During our first city council meeting with the 63rd City Council, it was brought up that there is a code of ethics for all boards and commissions in the city of Guthrie. I have received some signatures from some of you. Any of you that serve on multiple committees, we're only asking you to provide one, and that kind of covers you for all of your committees. I'll tell you, the ordinance is right here. It's about 4, 5, 6 pages. Staff has a book that we have to go by that is about close to 150 pages. So we are held to the same standard as you guys, and so, but thank you guys for everyone who has submitted already.
Well, good. Everybody signed one? I think you already have, right? Okay. Okay. Well, do we have any staff comments?
Just really quickly, I want to recognize I got a call from Chairman Bothroyd last week when she was Commissioner Bothroyd, asking about the application from Bonnie Calvert on Cleveland that was back in, what was that, April. I told you in the May meeting that we would be sending a letter. That was actually not true. I made a personal visit to Ms. Calvert. I would like to invite one of the commissioners on this board to join me, whether it's one of the full standing members or an ex officio like Mr. Wood, to join me for a meeting with Ms. Calvert to talk about her application. She said that she wasn't she didn't know what to expect during the meeting, and she did have some questions that she'd just like to go back over and kind of talk through everything. So I'm going to be inviting someone to join me for a kind of a 2-on-1 meeting with her to have her questions answered and some concerns that she had alleviated. So that's an update on that, and pretty light on staff comments, but thank you guys so much for attending tonight.
Well, does anyone,
I'd like to just, I feel horrible for the Phillips. They've already bought the windows, but unfortunately, if we don't stop it somewhere, it's going to always continuously be, well, I've already bought it, and then we've lost our historic district. And it's important that we don't lose that. And as we have the opportunity to fix some of these things that were done throughout the years, we've got to handle that as we get them. So I just hope we all stand united on that as regards to that's our responsibility to ensure that this district remains historic according to the guidelines that are set out within the federal guidelines to obtain a historic district. And like I said, I feel bad for her, but you can't own a building in the historic district and then think everything is going to be an afterthought. And you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't know if we need to send some type of notification out to building owners that says, if you're looking at doing some modifications,
That's what
you're
my
gonna
thought
have
is.
to
They-
make sure that those are approved first. I mean,
Well,
she
any-
should have a red book. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
maybe she
Any
does, maybe she
modification.
doesn't. I don't know, but,
Why don't we propose a letter showing everyone, or like you said, because that was my thought, notifying everyone here in the city, letting them know that here we are, this is what we're here for, because we are getting a lot of it's
I
being
didn't
done
know,
before.
and I didn't know, and
Doing it now and asking forgiveness later, and I don't really want to say no to people, especially like tonight, and you're right. And, I want to get big people on board, and,
and
I thi-
it surprises me that Maker's Glass was not aware, so we should probably, the business people that provide services within the historic district, especially exterior facades and things of that nature, should be aware of those. I mean, I know there's people like James Gallant with Long Hair Repair. He knows, I mean, he knows.
yeah, he knows
You know,
inside out.
yeah, he does. And he'll even tell you, you can't do that.
Right.
So, or have you asked yet, I mean, he'll ask those questions. So I think it's important that we,
well, we need to start setting the guideline, the
absolutely,
tone,
absolutely.
definitely.
And I'm going to be a broken record. King's Donut flashing lights are still going.
Yes.
Well,
Do we have anything on, anywhere in the city about where sandwich boards can be placed?
That's in the planning guidelines for kind of ADA compatibility and
Okay.
those kinds of things.
I just had seen a discussion on one of the Facebook pages for
Oh, okay.
Guthrie concerning those and some issues that they've had with ADA compliance
Okay.
and store owners not being very receptive.
Hmm.
So, some are, some aren't.
Okay. Yeah, we can, planning office can absolutely take a look at that.
Thank you.
does anyone have anything else?
Thank you again to our first-time members joining us tonight. Welcome aboard. Thank you for your service.
And for Commissioner Bothroyd,
Thank you.
smiling through her.
Thank you. Well, I guess we'll go ahead and adjourn, and does anyone,
You can adjourn on your own.
oh, it's adjourned.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.